So this will be a review of the Sword Mack Granite with the Elliott Fuel and Lube truck. As you can see, the front of the truck is red, and then the back tank is white, and then the rest is gray. And the other color that they make in this is, I believe the whole truck is white and some of it's gray. I went with this because I just think that the colors match very well, and I think that the red really just gives it an overall very nice look. Now, before we get really into the review, if you don't know, this model is 1/50th scale, and it does retail for about $189. It is on the expensive side. You can't not say that it isn't. But if you have a nice collection and you really like service trucks, it's just overall a really nice model. That's what I'm going to show you in this review. So to start off, I'll start off with the tractor because, or I guess you could say the actual front of the truck, because it doesn't seem like many people have the Sword Macks, and I can't figure out why, because it is actually pretty nice. So I'll start off with the front of the hood, and this is where I just think that it just doesn't look right. If you look at the front of it here, you can see there's a very big gap between the front bumper and the headlights and the bottom of the grille. Why it's like that, I just really don't know. I think it just gives it a very strange look. I don't want to say if it's good or bad, but it gives it a different look, and it's noticeable that it's like that. Usually when something is noticeably different, I always point that out in the review. But besides the fact, front of it's chrome, which looks extravagant, and you can see the turning signal and the headlights just look very nice. The grille itself is very nicely made, and you can see it even has the bulldog detail. Hood, as you can see, opens, and it's separate from the radiator. And when it opens like this, you could get a better view of the bulldog ornament. But if we turn the truck, which I'm going to close it now just for a quick second, you can see it has the latch to keep the hood closed and the vents on the side, and you can see the bulldog there again. But if you open it, it will reveal the engine, and unfortunately they didn't make it all Mack. It would have been nice to have a gold bulldog on this truck, but that's just the way that they made it. Here you can see the engine, and I don't know too much about it, so I'm not going to go over it too much. But you could also see how the hood goes through, and there's where the radiator is, and so forth. You could also get an idea of the fenders right there. While we're over the cab, I'll show you the top of the cab. So here's the top of it. You can see the two air horns and the lights, and you could also see the exhaust right there, but we'll get to that in a second. Exhaust, as you can see, comes up fairly high. I like it a lot. And the mirrors as well, and the visor up top. Lowering it back down, if we look, you can see that it has the granite decal under here, and then it also has the little tiny decals under there. The cool thing about this model is that the doors open, and they're actually, pretty nice. They do wobble a little bit, like, as you would expect, but they actually close and open very nicely, and they're easy to open since the mirror is actually attached to the door. What I did, I actually glued the mirror to the door, so it's a little easier. Looking on the inside, you can see the dashboard and the seats, and you can see it even has the Mack on the top of the seat near the headrest, and the back of the door. If we open up the other side of the door, and one thing I want to point out on this side, you can see that it has a little window so the driver can see on the passenger side, which I think is cool. And this door will open as well, and there's a little fire extinguisher there, and the glove compartment right there. And over here you have a fuel tank for the truck, and some warning labels. One bad thing, and this is really the only bad thing I find with this model, and I know that sounds crazy, but it just overall is, kind of a perfect model, is the battery box compartment right here. There's no locking mechanism for it. After this review, I'm gonna glue it in there because I mean, to be honest, guys, it really doesn't matter to me if I get to see the batteries or not. And I'm gonna glue it because it just really has no locking mechanism. And as you can see right there, it even wobbles right there. And I'm just gonna take it off now because I know it's just gonna become annoying doing the review and having it fall off everywhere. So I'm not even gonna bother to keep it on. Now, if you get to the money end of the truck, which is the back, and the reason why they call it a fuel and lube is because, for one thing, you can lubricate the machines with it, but it also has a fuel tank on it. And one thing I really want to say is the decaling is really nice. If you see, it even says 1993, which, if you don't know, that's diesel fuel. And I guess if the truck ever runs out of fuel, he could always fuel himself, right? So I thought that was a good thing to point out, because I'm sure someone will do that in the comments. So, looking at the fuel tank, you can see it's all white, and it's just a very nice casted piece, just super high quality. You can see it has the lights up here and right there, and even has the Elliott decal right there, and even has where they're made, and it looks like the zip code 1993. And if you look up top, has the little lifting eye there. But another cool thing is the cap opens to get the fuel in there. I think that's just awesome. I just really like that. I guess you could even put stuff in there if you wanted to, but never come out. Below the fuel tank on both sides. So when I get to the other side, just picture this. It has opening doors here, and you actually do have to open them in order too. Sometimes, as you can see, they are a little bit of a pain to open. And this side opens as well. If you could get it, these seem to be the harder doors to open. And you have to open them in order too, because there's a certain locking mechanism that they have. And they just open, and you can see there's like a couple of shelves in there and whatnot. And you have to close the rear doors first, because if you notice, it has a little tab right there, and that will keep that door from shutting all the way. So as you can see, those has the fire extinguisher up top here, and if we look in the back, it has 2 axles in the back, which makes it look very cool. And if you look right here, it even has a fold down ladder to get up there, and I think that's just awesome. I really like how they put that on the model. I think that it just really makes it, a lot of thought put into the model, pretty much. Coming around the side, to be honest, I'm not sure where any of this is up here. They're obviously holding tanks, and this is obviously some sort of pump. But before we get to that, I want to show you the back, because the back is pretty cool, and I'm sure you will agree. Now, looking at the back, you can see it kind of has like a roll down gate to it, and if you zoom in, you could kind of get a better view at it, and I think that's focused. But if you open it, and I did say open, it does open, but there's one thing that I want to tell you before. It's best to open it if you push in on the center. I don't know why. It's very delicate, as you could see, but sometimes it just doesn't want to open, and I'm scared of breaking it, so I'm going to use the tool to do it. But I found if you push in on the center and up top, it'll open a little bit nicer. And like I said, I don't want to break it, so you just got to wiggle with it, and whatever you do, don't break it, because it won't be good to break that. And it actually opens, and it will reveal a bunch of hose reels, as you can see. Just a ton of hose reels. And this one, I don't know if it's supposed to be loose, but this one is even loose. So that's what they look like. There's just loads of them, and then there's even one right here, and you could even see that the wire, and it does move. It doesn't come out. I don't want to take it out, to be honest with you. But just the fact that that opens is just very cool, and it closes easier than it does open. And as you can see, my doors are even getting a little scratched, and worn and I don't even open it that often, as you can see right there, so I'm not even going to touch it anymore. But anyway, up top you have two warning beacons, and you can see just a ton of lights and decals. Just a really nice model. Now looking at this side, this is the opposite side of the other side. You can see the heads for the compressor right there. You know, very cool. And if you look right here, because I will show you on the top and on the inside, you can see that there are more doors here, and unfortunately very hard to open, but it is pretty cool once you get them open. And there they are right there, and there's just another, you know, holding compartment or a little storage compartment. And once again, you have to close the rear door first, and then there's another fire extinguisher. And as from the other side, if I get these open quick, I'll show you, but if I can't, I can't, but the other side does the same thing, if you're seeing. Now going up top, you can see the compressor right there has the heads and the hydraulic lines running to it. And once we go up top, you can see that it kind of has like a working deck on the inside. I mean, like I said, I really don't know what these are. These are obviously holding tanks, I would guess, for the grease, you know, since it is a lube truck. And then there's a pump right here, and then the diamond plate texture on there. Just about everything on it is all metal, and the way the ladder comes in, it just folds up in there. And overall, you know, just really cool. And if you want to see it fold out like that, I mean, I'm not sure the exact way to put it in there. I just put it in there like that. And if we come around to the right side, just to get overall view of the right side, and then summing up the review, here's what the truck looks like from the right side. And before I forget, the suspension is fairly good. The odd thing about it is that the actual suspension on this, I push down. As you can see, it goes down very far, but I actually made it do that. I don't know what was about it. Maybe it was stuck or something, but as you can see, the back doesn't really want to move that much, but the front does. Something I don't do very often, but I will. Looking underneath, pretty plain, not much to it, but I don't display this on a mirrored finish, so to me, it, you know, it doesn't matter too often. About the underside of the truck. So to sum it up, overall build quality is just top notch. Maybe one of the best that I have. If you compare this to the 357, the 357 doesn't want to turn. These tires actually will turn fully in the front without hitting the fenders, and it will roll smoothly. Just overall build quality is great. The truck itself looks awesome. There's not too much I could say bad about it. And for 189 bucks, I will say this: it is pricey, because realistically, if you have this model in your collection, and even I do, I've had it for a fair amount of days now, all it really does is sit around. But I mean, it really does look great, and I love Mack Granite, so I had to get one. So hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if this review changes your mind about it, or what you think of it.